Hi, I'm Bal Claire. I'm a strategic advisor for the Upper NHS Staff Network. I'm also a non-exec director at Coventry Warwickshire Partnership Trust Mental Health Trust, and also deputy chair at Birmingham Solihull Mental Health Trust. So following on from last year, it's really interesting. The network's matured, it's grown. I think as a network, we actually understand what we're about a little bit more. Last year, I think if we're fair, we were all trying to find our feet, trying to establish, what we're about, who we are, even though we were sort of underpinned by a really solid constitution. But it's like any journey in life, you try and find who you are and what you're about. And I think this year we're very focused on what we want to really tackle. Health inequalities is a real big feature for Upper NHS. How do we level the playing field? What are the issues that exist, both at a macro and a micro level, and really start to tackle those pithy problems, those wicked problems that we've got in society, but doing it in a way that really drives outcomes rather than sort of talking about it. So that's a real sort of difference. So I think we've moved on a huge amount, and you'll see from this year's conference, there's a much more broader interest in UPNA. There's a much more wider participation in the UPNA group as well, and attendees at the conference. So all round, a real positive step forward from last year. Upper NHS is, I think, at this moment in time, maturing in terms of influence within and having a voice within the NHS. But certainly, as we've grown in maturity, it was plain to see when we had our chief execs and CEOs dinner the other evening, that there is a genuine need for a diverse voice at the table, and so hearing senior leaders support what we are doing, supporting the ideas that we want to try and push forward on is really encouraging. I think the next step really is about getting more of a seat at the table, getting a voice at the table, and then really try and influence policy and sort of direction of how health inequalities and the well-being of our citizens from a healthcare perspective evolves. Today's plenary will be around digital. Now, that's a huge topic, and what we're going to try and do is look at digital in terms of the opportunity it provides. We're going to look at it in the context of some of the challenges that the NHS faces and also the opportunities that it can drive. But more specifically, what we're going to try and do with the panel members that we've got on the panel today is to really try and narrow things down. So, okay, it's a massive topic. There's lots of things that we could do within the NHS using digital. But given the resources, given the constraints, what are the key focus areas? And we're going to try and boil it down to about 3 areas. And then off the back of that, what we're going to try and do is develop a wicked problem. And using that wicked problem or a question that we can ask is we're going to try and work with our colleagues here at Warwick Innovation and try and develop some concepts that will move those ideas forward into something that's tangible, that people can see, ideas that can actually change and influence the way we use and adopt digital within the NHS and within healthcare in general.